Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as we're here for the Illini West Chargers and the BPC Spartans as Devin Raleigh Shelter Insurance brings Spartan sports to TSSR Game Time Live. Starters for Illini West, Ella Shutwell, number 3, number 10, Reagan Reed, number 14, Allison Hunter, number 22, Ellie Craig, and number 24, Madison Quisenberry. And Madison McGrew, I believe, going to dress the first time tonight. And she gets to start tonight. She's had a knee injury, been waiting on a knee brace to get in. She is here and able to go. The only senior on the team is Madison McGrew. Presley Brandt, one of the starters, number 12. She's a junior.
Starting at center, number 23,
Sierra Shannon, another junior, wears number 23.
Starting at one forward, number 25, Abby Nelson.
Abby Nelson, another junior, number 25.
And starting at the other forward, number 34, Justice.
And Justice Kleindens, number 34, a freshman, will start for BPC tonight. Everybody coming off the bench for the most part will be freshmen, as that's about all that's left. They have 4 upperclassmen and a bunch of freshmen, no sophomores for BPC, so they are very young. And they do have a few upperclassmen. For the Illini West Chargers, Ella Shutwell is a junior. Reagan Reed is a junior as well. Allison Hunter is a senior. Ellie Craig is a senior, and Madison Quisenberry is a junior. As we get ready to go here, jump things off to start things out, and it is the Chargers of Illini West with the jump and the win. Again, this is varsity basketball. We don't have it backwards in the stream, and it looks like Madison McGrew is going to get her first foul rather quickly. And the trap it is going to be on Madison McGrew, her first, team's first. So the first foul on the Spartans. So the trap is a little more effective with the senior out on the point with Abby Nelson. Down low it goes to Reagan Reed. Reagan Reed tries to go across the lane to Hunter. No, to Quisenberry, excuse me. Now Hunter has it. And it's going to be stolen away, picked up by Sierra Shannon, and Presley Brandt gives it to Abby Nelson. Back the other way it goes. Brandt with it now. 7:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Madison McGrew on the dribble. Looking to score her first points of her senior season. Hurt her knee and has not played until tonight. She gets the start. And a steal by Reagan Reed, and she's going to go back the other way. Presley Brandt gives chase. She's going to get called for the foul. Be the second on the Spartans, first on Presley Brandt. And the first 2 free throws of the game are going to come off the hands of number 10, Reagan Reed, for the Chargers. And it looks like Abby Nelson has got an injury of some sort.
Number 10, Reagan Reed, shooting 2.
Looks like maybe she hurt her lip. Reagan Reed shooting 2 free throws. No score, 7:02 remaining, first quarter. First free throw is good. So the first point of the night comes from Reagan Reed on the free throw. She has 1 more. And she makes them both. Madison McGrew with the dribble. 6:50 remaining here, first quarter. Skips it across, does Presley Brandt to Sierra Shannon. She comes back across to Jules Krebs, who came into the game for Abby Nelson. Madison McGrew looking down to Kleindens, out to Sierra Shannon. Off no good. A rebound underneath to Shutwell, I believe. Down it comes to Quisenberry. Across it goes to Reed. Reed puts the shot up and in with the left hand. Reed has all 4 of her team's points. 6:15 remaining first quarter. Chargers up to a 4-0 lead here. BPC has a double team that they dribbled into right there at the half-court stripe. Now Brandt has it on the dribble. Brandt picks it up, in trouble, and it's going to be knocked away by Craig. Ellie Craig with it. She's going to go back the other way. The left-hand or right-handed layup is good. Ellie Craig gets her first two. And 5:40, and in a jump ball, possession will be to BPC. Abby Nelson's going to come back in. Madison McGrew is going to take a seat for the first time with 5:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Hop into live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We'd love to see that. Also, be sure to share the link if you don't mind. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament coming up if you're into boys basketball. That'll be one of the best tournaments in the States. And now it's going to be lost out of bounds as Presley Brandt has a tendency to throw some pretty hard passes. That was another hard bounce pass, and Krebs couldn't hold on to it. Turnover back to the Chargers. They lead 6-0, looking to build on the 6-0 lead here. Reed goes to Quisenberry. She leaves it up short. Rebound to Brandt, and it's going to be tied up again. It'll be Illini West getting the basketball. 5:21 remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0 early. Second jump ball of the game just been called. Here, less than 3 minutes in. Ellie Craig with it for the Chargers. She tries to get it to Reagan Reed, who has to save it inbounds. She does. Craig gets it. Skips across Hunter now, and Hunter's going to put the shot up and in. Nice pass by Quisenberry to Hunter. Allison Hunter gets her first two. Krebs is going to bring it across half court for the Spartans. Under 5 minutes in quarter number one now. Abby Nelson gives it off to Presley Brandt. Right side to Jules Krebs. Jules Krebs had 3 3-pointers in the game on Saturday where BPC found their offense a little bit. They still got beat, but they shot the ball much better, actually took some good shots, made some shots. Much improvement, and then an offensive foul right there is going to be called on Presley Brandt. That'll be her second foul, team's third. Just a reminder, the fouls reset at the end of each quarter. Shutwell's going to inbound it to Ellie Craig now for the Chargers. As the 1-3-1 zone back in full force for BPC. Down the corner it goes. Quisenberry, Shutwell, free throw line jumper, off no good. Craig gets the rebound. On the dribble, nobody takes her. She's going to try the triple. It's good for Ellie Craig. She's got 5 now. 4:05 remaining here in the first quarter. It's 11-0 Chargers. Sierra Shannon with it for BPC. She gives it to Presley Brandt. Out of bounds, an errant pass, and possession to the Chargers. Subs coming in. Craig takes a seat. Quisenberry takes a seat. Dakota Lafferty, thanks for joining us, and let's go Chargers. Shannon takes a seat. Jersey Jones is in for BPC. Also in for is Corin Robinson, number 15. Reed, baseline jumper, left side, off no good. Hunter with the rebound. She's going to be fouled by Kleindenz. Also in is number 5, Kennedy Gunning, and number 1, Addison Cook. Foul number 4 as Kleindenz picks up her first. So bonus will be the rest of the way as Allison Hunter hits the first of 2 free throws. She's got 3 points. Second one is off, no good. Reed with the rebound and the putback. Reagan Reed has 6 points to lead all scorers now. 3:40 remaining first quarter. It's 14-0. Thanks for joining us, Dakota Lafferty. We appreciate it. If you watch the Illini West Chargers volleyball team, you'll see several volleyball players on the court here tonight. That ball's tipped out of bounds by Justice Kleindenz. It'll be Chargers basketball. Again, Chargers into bonus the rest of the way. 3:20 remaining. Corner 3 coming is left short. It's going to go to the hands of number 15, Corin Robinson. She'll get her first 2. The 3 was off the hands of Kennedy Gutting. would not fall. But in the right spot at the right time was Corin Robinson. Madison McGrew, who's back in the game, on the dribble. She hands it off to Abby Nelson. Nelson's going to spin, pick up the dribble, comes to Jersey Jones, right side Madison McGrew. McGrew still on the dribble, 2:50 remaining here in the first quarter. She comes over to Abby Nelson. Man defense, tipped out of bounds by Reagan Reed. It'll stay with the Spartans. A couple subs coming back in, Quisenberry and Craig setting down. Hunter and Robinson taking a seat for the Chargers. So Reagan Reed, the only player not to have sat down for the Chargers as of yet. Jersey Jones with it for BPC. She's picked up by Addison Cook. Now McGrew gives it off to Kreps on the far side. Nice pick there as the Chargers switch after the pick. Abby Nelson spins in, gives it out to McGrew. 2:22 remaining. Jules Kreps to Madison McGrew. McGrew skips it across to Nelson. Nelson drives baseline. Craig cuts her off. 2:10 remaining here in the first quarter. And now McGrew comes to help. Kleindentz comes out with it though. 2:05 remaining. Down to Nelson, excuse me. Now out to McGrew. McGrew's going to try the three. The lefty hits her first shot of the year, and the Spartans are on the scoreboard. 16-3. Down low it goes to Quisenberry. Pump fake. Comes out to Reed. Reed's going to try to answer with a three of her own. It's in and out, no good. Jump ball. Possession will go to BPC. 16-3 is the score. 4 fouls for BPC, none for the Chargers of Illini West. 1:38 remaining, clock running here in the first quarter. Madison McGrew nearly dribbled into the sideline. She's got Kennedy Gunning guarding her, and a 5-second violation is called. Turnover to the Chargers with 1:24 remaining in the first quarter. Craig inbounds it to Reagan Reed. She'll bring it up the floor. 1:20 remaining. Skips it over to Quisenberry. Quisenberry up to Reed, down free throw line. That's number 33. I missed her coming in, Olivia Johnson. Craig steps on the sideline. It'll be a turnover back to BPC. Olivia Johnson, number 33 for the Chargers in the ball game. So it's Quisenberry, number 24, Johnson, number 33, Gunning, number 5, Craig, number 22, and Reed, number 10 on the floor for the Chargers. It's Presley Brandt back in, number 12, and Madison McGrew, number 10. Justice Kleindentz just lost that ball out of bounds. She's number 34. Sierra Shannon's number 23, and Jersey Jones, number 14 on the floor for BPC. Under a minute to go at the 48-second mark here of quarter number 1. Reed has it. She looks into Gunning. Gunning throws it out to Quisenberry. Baseline jumper is long. Gunning with the rebound. She puts it back up. It's off, no good. Brandt picks it up for BPC with 36 seconds remaining, and McGrew will take it back the other way. The Spartans trailing 16-3 here, and Brandt steps on the end line, or the half-court stripe, excuse me. That's an over and back, and possession goes back to the Chargers. Reagan Reed with the basketball, 23 seconds remain. Gunning comes out to Craig. I think she was actually looking for Quisenberry, but Quisenberry moved. Reed now with it. 13 seconds. Johnson, Gunning, Craig, 8 seconds remaining. Outside Reed for three, right wing, in and out, no good. Ball tipped around. Picked up by Craig. 2 seconds, 1 second, and she's not going to get the shot off. Lost track of how much time was left. That's going to be the end of the first quarter of play. The Chargers lead the Spartans 16-3. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Devin Raleigh Shelter Insurance coverage in Bushnell-Prairie City Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And Devin Raleigh is actually one of the officials tonight. He told me earlier this year he wasn't going to officiate, wasn't going to do any basketball, but the loss of a key official in the area to a car accident and just a shortage of officials in general has brought him out of quote-unquote retirement at the age of, 35 or whatever he is. He's not nearly as old as I know that. So we move to the second quarter of play. It's 16-3, Chargers with the lead, and they will have the basketball. Craig is going to give it to Shutwell, who's back in the game. Reed looks down to Hunter. And Cook is in the game. The only starter not in is Hunter. Shutwell has motion offense, sends Craig to the right side. Cook was following her. Now it's come up to Craig. She's wide open right wing. Good. A three-pointer for Ellie Craig. She gets her second triple. She's got 8 points. Presley Brandt with it. Brandt with it again. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be with the Chargers after the turnover. Shutwell gives it to Craig as we're under 7 minutes to play here in the first half. A little contact down there. Reed and Kleindienst, no call. Jersey Jones goes back the other way. Cook takes it away, knocks it out of bounds. It'll be with the Spartans. Subs coming in, going to be number 25, Abby Nelson, and number 20, Jules Cripps checking in. Madison McGrew and Presley Brandt take a seat. 6:51 remaining first half. Brandt lost control of that one and passed it out of bounds. 6:42 remaining. Down the corner it goes to Cook. That's Addison Cook for the Chargers, the only non-starter in the game right now. Allison Hunter is back in. She might have just got away with the travel. Shutwell. And Craig trying to get it to Reed. Throws it away. Possession back to BPC. Krebs will inbound for the Spartans. 6:21 remaining here in the first quarter. Brandt gives it to Shannon. Kleindienst going to drive. Dumps it out. Tipped out of bounds. It was out of bounds by Shutwell. Brandt nearly got a hand back on that again, but the referees say that she did not, so it stays with the Spartans. She definitely reached out for it, tried to catch it, could not. Abby Nelson with it now. She's going to come up to Brandt. Left side it goes to Krebs. 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Nelson has it passed down. Craig nearly had a steal there for the Chargers. Now Brandt's going to try and get it into Kleindienst. She does. Sierra Shannon, a high arcing three, off no good. Just got rim and fell straight to the floor. Craig outlets it to Reed. Reed's going to pull up from about 10 feet. Her jumper's good. She's got 8 points in the game. 21-3, 4 or 5-0 run to start quarter number 2. Kleindienst goes to Nelson, to Shannon. Krebs is going to drive, dumps it down baseline to Nelson. Reverse layup is up and in. Abby Nelson gets her first two. Craig gathers that back up before it goes across half court. Reed's going to try to answer for two. It's a little short. She goes, gets her own rebound. Nobody there. She leaves that one short as well. Hunter gets the rebound. It's going to be blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chargers. Kleindent's got the block there, I do believe. Coming back in is going to be number 24, Madison Quisenberry, I believe. It is Quisenberry coming back in with her team up by 16, 21-5. 4:56 left in the first half. Neither team has a foul here in this quarter. And a double dribble call. Turnover back to the Spartans. Brandt with it, down the corner to Nelson. Steal, Craig goes back the other way. She's going to try and beat everybody down the floor. She does, high off the glass, no good. Quisenberry at the rebound and the putback. Madison Quisenberry gets her first two. Largest lead of the game for the Chargers now at 18. Brandt just got away with a travel. Shotwell took a tumble, gathers herself back up. Three on the way by Sierra Shannon is good. Sierra Shannon hits a three. She had one of those on Saturday as well. It's 23-8. 3:50 remaining. And Kleindent's on the floor. Going to call a foul on Allison Hunter. It'll be her first. And that's actually the first team foul of the entire game for the Chargers. They went the whole first quarter and over half of the second quarter before getting their first foul. Reagan Reed's going to come back in. Addison Cook leaves here in the second quarter. A 15-point game now. It was 18 for the shot by Shannon. A steal by Reed. She gives it off to Ellie Craig. And Craig's going to have it tipped away by Nelson out of bounds. And they're going to say it's off of the Chargers. And let's go back to BPC. Reagan Reed trying to cut the left hand off for the lefty McGrew. Over to Brandt it goes, up top to Nelson. Nelson goes right, and a foul is going to be called. That might be on Hunter as well. It is. Allison Hunter is going to pick up her second, team second. So the Chargers went the entire first quarter without a foul, and halfway through the second, now they've got two in less than a minute. BPC had four in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter and haven't had one since. I'll probably just jinx the Spartans, though. There's an inbounds pass stolen away by Reed, and she'll push it back the other way. I'm going to say that, but there's a three on the way by Craig. She's got two. She wants a third. Not going to get that one, and that one's going to be rebounded off the floor. A team rebound goes to number 15, Corin Robinson. Now Reed down low. Gunning back to Robinson. Jumper, good. Corin Robinson has her fourth point. 25-18 now. 2:45 remaining. Out of bounds. Possession stays with BPC. Krebs checks back in. Sierra Shannon goes out. Back end's Olivia Johnson for the Chargers. Quisenberry goes out. 2:34 left here in the first half. 25-8 is the score, as you see on the scoreboard. Scoreboard does tend to not show a basket occasionally, even after you push the button. So you push it again, and then it shows both of them, and you have to take one off. So if I do that occasionally, or anybody's doing that on any of our broadcasts. There's another three on the way. Madison McGrew leaves that one long. Reed with the rebound. So if that happens occasionally, folks, that's what the problem is. A 14-foot jumper is good for Reagan Reed. She's got 10 points here in the first half, and it's a 19-point advantage now as we approach the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's a 19-point lead for Illini West over BPC. Madison McGrew with it, right side. Again, she's back for the first time this season tonight after suffering a knee injury. A couple other players have not made it back yet because of knee injuries. And jump ball is going to be called. It'll be BPC basketball on that jump ball. Illini West got it at the quarter. That's the first jump ball of this quarter. Justice Kleindentz comes back in. Madison McGrew takes a seat. 1:38 remaining in the first half. Ethan is on the camera now. Natalie was on it for the first quarter. We tried during the tournament to see who was the best camera person, and we never really got a good answer. So if anybody's watching and wants to vote, quarter number 1 or quarter number 2, let us know who's the best camera person. Natalie always says it's her. Ethan just is quiet. He's already learned that you can't argue with your woman. That's what Ethan's already learned, I think. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chargers. 1:22 remaining. So if you want to hop on the live chat and let them know who you think's done the better job here. We're all up for having a good time. Bragging rights and giving a little crap to each other occasionally. Reagan Reed's jumper's off, no good. Abby Nelson with the rebound for BPC with 1:15 remaining here in the first half. There's a steal by Corn Robinson. Reed's going to come to Johnson, who, there's a jump ball to stay with Illini West. Johnson was A, a little surprised, I think, and B, not prepared for the speed at which that pass came to her. She wasn't able to control it. 1 minute remaining, and then she is going to throw it over and back. It'll be BPC basketball with exactly 55 seconds remaining here in the first half. One of the best sounds, you can kind of hear it in the background probably. It's how you know you're at a good basketball gymnasium, is when you can hear the popcorn popping in the background. Getting ready for halftime here. It's going to go off of Reagan Reed. It'll stay with BPC, 41.1 seconds remaining. Sierra Shannon's going to come back in for the Spartans, and she's going to replace Jersey Jones. Krebs inbounding for BPC. And it's Kleindentz. She puts the shot up over Johnson. Off, no good. Gunning with the rebound. She takes it back the other way. Kennedy Gunning on the dribble for the Chargers. Reagan Reed with 28 seconds left steps back and going to settle for one shot, I do believe. 24 seconds remaining. Robinson down to Cook, back to Reed. 17 seconds left. Down to Gunning to Johnson. Johnson will take the shot up and get it to fall. Olivia Johnson gets her first two. 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 3 seconds. Tipped. Reed. Shannon can't get a shot off after she gathered it back up. That's how the first half's going to end. Illini West 29, BPC 8. We'll take a break and then have a halftime interview for you folks to listen to. We'll come back at the end with some halftime stats here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome once again, as we're happy to bring to you another member of the staff at MDH. And today we have Bill Murdoch, the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of MDH. You know, I've talked to some people up the food chain a little bit, but you're getting ways up there for me to be talking to here. Right. But you're just another guy.
I am.
And we were joking off camera. We'll get to that a little bit maybe as we go along here. But
sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You married? You have kids?
Yep. Married. My wife's from Macomb. We have 4 children. My wife's a bomber and a Leatherneck. I'm a Leatherneck as well. That's it. I grew up outside of Galesburg on a farm, and we still have a place up there. Go back there every day and enjoy the great outdoors up there. I've been in healthcare for over 30 years now. Enjoy it very much, and really look forward to the challenges that healthcare provides for us.
Now, if I remember reading through your stuff correctly, you're from Oneida, which is up by Galesburg,
Do you
right?
know where that is?
I do. I know where it's part of Rova.
It is.
It's part of. We're sports people here,
Yeah.
Bill. We have to know who
I graduated
Oneida
from
is.
Rova.
Did you? So it was Rova even that far back.
Well,
Not that you're old. That
was-
isn't what I meant there.
There was
Bill.
an additional town added after I graduated, but it's always been pronounced as Rova.
So what was the town that was added?
Watauga,
Watauga was
which
added.
is where I live now.
So you live in Watauga.
Right,
You graduated from Rova.
correct.
But Watauga wasn't part of Rova when you graduated from Rova.
That's right, because
That's like a twisting, turning road right there.
Oh yeah, it's a complex matter here. But no, after I graduated high school, went to college and all that, and then as I advanced my career, we stayed in the Midwest and finally ended up after we started having kids in the Rova, Oneida area to raise our children, and just stayed there the whole time since then.
How, there's a lot of professions at any hospital that have a lot of very important, and they are the integral workings of the hospital. Everybody thinks physicians, nurses, providers,
Right.
but you have a lot of pressure on you on a daily basis when you're talking about the chief financial officer. So how do you find yourself into that profession? I mean, I think I'd rather be the doctor or the nurse than the chief financial officer.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I graduated from Western, I was recruited at that time by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, and we were doing what hospitals have to prepare a Medicare cost report, and I was auditing them. So that's how I got my step into the healthcare career. And then after that, I went to work for a consulting firm that prepared the cost reports for the hospitals and all that. And then after that, I got into the actual inner workings of the hospital, started out as a controller, then worked up to CFOs and larger organizations, and and that's kind of my niche, and that's where I've stayed my whole career.
Now, you mentioned larger organizations. Lindsay Douglas, we talked to her. She's in recruitment for you guys for physicians and providers. And this is not, as far as hospitals go, a larger,
Right.
it's not a huge hospital.
Right.
So what does that do for you on a daily basis as you're trying to balance a budget or make a budget that works or help with the finances of that doesn't have maybe the bottomless pockets that some people think of when you think of a huge hospital or whatever?
Right. Yeah, I think that, you've been in one hospital, They're all different. They all have their sets of challenges and struggles and all that. What is very exciting for me is we're nimble, we can make quick changes, and I feel like I can make that impact in the organization, those quick impacts to get the hospital on the right track and keep it going and be viable.
Yeah, and funding in this day and age is a key in getting payments. But I'm sure you guys still look at trying to get donations and stuff, correct? Is that involved in anything you do, or do you have to consider any of that when you're trying to make your business positions?
It's a small piece of it, a little bit of it. Our biggest challenge is to get reimbursed from the insurance payers, make sure, because there's a lot of noise out there right now where insurance payers are denying everything not everything, but most things that we try to get reimbursed for. And if we don't get what we're entitled to, then it's a struggle to make payrolls.
Right.
Struggle to pay our vendors. It's really tough to keep the hospital going, make the capital improvements that we're doing on the campus right now.
And you're doing a bunch of those right now. I mean,
We are.
Yep. You guys are improving. It seems like monthly, daily, whatever, you're making improvements here in the last 10 years or so.
There's a lot of exciting things going on here on the campus right now with the retail pharmacy, or community pharmacy is what we're calling it now, because it is the community of McDonough County's pharmacy. And we're trying to prepare this organization for future generations so we can keep this hospital in the community for the people of the community.
Okay, so you work and think numbers all week.
Pretty much.
What do you think on the weekends? Now, I think I read somewhere there's some hunting and fishing involved in what you enjoy doing.
Right. Yes. I like I mentioned, I grew up on a farm. We still have a farm. We still live on a farm. So I enjoy just about anything outdoors. That would be fishing, hunting, camping, spending time on the farm, just fixing things or doing whatever. That's how I decompress and recharge to do the job that I do today.
Okay. Now, I said I only had 2 questions. I got one more. We're about at time. But now, you're a hunter.
Yes.
And you're older like me. Okay. So I remember when I was a kid and everybody was deer hunting, if you got a deer, you were lucky.
Right. Right.
Do you deer hunt?
I do.
And how much easier is it on your farm to get a deer now than it was when you were a kid?
Yeah, I'm really blessed because there are a lot more deer today than there was years ago when I started hunting. I do, but I enjoy deer hunting. But I also, every deer I've gotten the last 2 years, I've donated to the food pantry and let them repurpose it. Our sons also hunt with me as well. You eat a lot of that deer meat, but anything I get, it goes right to the food pantry, and I donate it back to the community.
Well, it's MDH is all about community. It's been about community, and you even go home and make it about community. So that makes you a good guy, right?
Right. Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate the comment.
Well, that'll do it for this halftime interview. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, with the second half right after this.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets a much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as Devin Raleigh Shelter Insurance brings BPC Spartan Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. BPC will get the basketball to start the second half. Looking at the leading scores for BPC, they got 8 points, 3 players with baskets, a three-pointer on her first shot for Madison McGrew. That was the only 3 points of the first quarter. They scored 5 in the second. Sierra Shannon had a 3, and Abby Nelson had a 2. That rounds out the scoring for BPC. The Chargers are led by 10 points from Reagan Reed. She's 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 8 points for Ellie Craig. She's got 2 3-pointers. Then 4 points for Corin Robinson. 3 points for Allison Hunter. She's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 2 points for Madison Quisenberry and 2 points for Olivia Johnson as well. 16 and 13 points respectively per quarter for the Chargers. They are 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. They did commit 2 fouls in the first half, both of them by Allison Hunter, in about a minute span from the 4 to the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. They went in quarter and a half without a foul. BPC had 4 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, and it didn't have any fouls called on them the rest of the way. That's why we haven't taken a lot of breaks here tonight. This game being brought to you by Raritan State Bank. Raritan State Bank's Bushnell branch, located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offers full-service banking and loan services. For all your banking needs, come visit the Bank of Friendly Service or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Spartans. Raritan State Bank is an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. Abby Nelson got it inbounded from Madison McGrew and then lofted it right back to Madison McGrew, who was in no way prepared to take it. It rolled right out of bounds. Possession to the Chargers. They tried to trap. Ellie Craig got it from Shutwell. Now it's Reed. They're trying to trap again. Hunter has it. Hunter out to Reed for 3, right wing. No good. Shannon with the rebound for BPC. She gives it off to Kleindens. Nelson has it. Now she gives it to Madison McGrew. Madison was looking for it that time. and was ready to handle the basketball. A pick, Craig picks up Madison, as now it's going to come up to off the hand of Kleindenz, gives it to Nelson. Brandt over to Shannon, down on the baseline, Nelson. Nelson tries to drive on Reed. Reed slaps it away. It's on the floor, jump ball, possession to Illini West. 7:12 to go here in the third quarter. Shutwell walking up the floor for BPC. Craig with it, down the corner, Reed, baseline jumper, no good. Rushed that one a little bit, and then Madison McGrew was going to step out of bounds. She looked over at Coach Supernaut, and they were both kind of giggling about it. He's like, "What was that, Reagan?" And Reagan was like, "I don't know what that was." I mean, I couldn't hear the conversation, but I'm pretty sure it was something along those lines. And Reagan Reed goes right back to the same spot and says, "I want to try that again. I can't can't go out on that." Oh, and then she throws that one away as Craig wasn't looking for it. 6:50 remaining. Ellie Craig had a wide open cut to the basket. Now a jump ball. No, a steal. Craig rips it away from Nelson. She's going to lose it, though, and knocked out of bounds by Jules Krebs. As the Chargers just a little out of sync here to start this second half. They've had opportunities, not taking good shots, not finishing opportunities, throwing the ball away. Down into Reed to Hunter, and Hunter says, "This is how you do it. I can get one to fall." She does. She's got 5 points now. 31-8. And a traveling violation called on Presley Brandt, so to go back the other way. Ellie Craig going to bring it up the floor. Reed at Quisenberry, down to Hunter. Hunter out to Craig. Craig pump fakes. She's going to put it up after the contact and get the bucket to fall. She's got 10 points. 6:03 remaining. Over to Brandt. Throws it off the leg of Shannon and then out of bounds. Craig will bring it up. 5:50 remaining. Craig to Reed, over to Quisenberry. Good. Quisenberry has her 4th point. And now they have settled back in, have the Chargers. You see Craig right there forcing Nelson to try to go left. And a timeout's going to be called by BPC. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll stay here. The TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH staff will be bringing you the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament the 28th, 29th, and 30th at Western Hall in Macomb, Illinois. Visit the official online home of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. That's holidaybasketball.com. There you'll find tournament scores, updated brackets, team rosters, and recaps of each game. Find it all at holidaybasketball.com. You can find some old history there as well. You can see the teams that are in it. Their rosters are already posted on the website. I talked to Chris Derry last night, and he's got the website all up and running. We'll have the links to the first round games shortly after the reveal on Sunday. That's this Sunday. And then we'll make the rest of the links a little bit later so that everybody can follow them. But we'll have the links to all the games for the first round. We'll have a live reveal show for the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament, live from the Park Place. I believe they've changed the name of it. It's the Sports Corner at 124 Banquet Room. Used to be Macomb Dining Company. We'll be there at about 5 o'clock. That show will go live. Craig with it. Shutwell, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, going to be tracked down by Jules Krebs for BPC, and back the other way it goes. 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. But lots of basketball yet to come. We've got the Great Western Shootout. It's kicked out of bounds by Shutwell. It'll stay with the Spartans. We've got the Great Western Shootout on Saturday, live from Abington Avon High School. 16 teams, 7 boys games and 1 girls game between A-Town and Macomb for the girls game. But there's 16 different teams will play 8 games at the Great Western Shootout. We were just there for 8 games for the Tornado Classic, which was this past Saturday. TSSR Game Time Live did all 8 of those. We'll put the links up hopefully tonight for this Saturday's games so that everybody can get those saved up and get ready to watch. Quisenberry with it, nearly loses it out of bounds and does lose it out of bounds. Possession to BPC, 4:36 to go. It's ballooned to a 27-point lead for the Chargers. And a steal. Shutwell gives it to Craig, gives it to Hunter. Hunter gets the layup to fall. Hunter gets her 4th point of the quarter. A 29-point lead and a line change getting ready to come in for the Chargers. Nelson, runner, up and in. Abby Nelson gets her 2nd bucket of the game. Reed down to Hunter. Hunter wants another one, and she'll get it, that time from the left side. She's got 9 points. Craig nearly has the steal. It's going to go to Nelson, however. She picks up the dribble, gives it to Kleindenz. 3:25 remaining. And a timeout called on the floor. 32nd timeout charged to BPC. So we'll keep it here for this one as well. As the line change comes in, we'll tell you who that's going to be when they come out on the floor. Game also brought to you by Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell. For over 100 years, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community's needs for personal and business banking as well as home and agricultural lending. They also have a great trust department. Stop by the main branch at 44 East Main Street or the drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Want to say hi to our friends at Rosie's Pizza. Rosie's Pizza offers something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and, of course, pizza. Dine in or carry out at 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope, Adair, and all points in between. For delivery, call 309-772-2101. And they do have a second number, and I didn't put it on here yet, and I don't remember what it is. It's on the restaurant menu they gave me, and I didn't put it in the. There's Brandt for 3 off, no good. Johnson with the rebound. So I apologize for that. Laney Housewright is in, number 4. Gunning is back in, number 5. Johnson back in, number 33. 15's Corin Robinson. And Addison Cook, number 1, back in the game as well. So the only new player in is number 4, Laney Housewright. A foul called on BPC. And I missed who it was on. Scratch that on the Chargers. Foul on the Chargers. And Kleindenz is going to lose that one out of bounds. It'll go to Illini West. 2:39 remaining here in the third quarter. Housewright has it. Right side it comes to Robinson. Down in the corner, Gunning. Gunning's going to drive, dumps it out type Housewright. Addison Cook wants to get it to Johnson. Johnson, oh, nice pass across. Man, how did they not call that foul? Off, no good again. Gets her own rebound, and Gunning says, well, I'm getting pounded on enough. I'm going to back it out. Laney Housewright goes to Cook. Cook baseline jumper, off, no good. Ball tipped around. Olivia Johnson, jump ball, possession BPC. 1:56 remaining in the third quarter. Madison McGrew is going to check back in. Abby Nelson's checking out for BPC. McGrew will bring it up the floor. Jersey Jones, Jules Krebs, Presley Brandt with the basketball, and Robinson's going to bring it up the floor. House right. Left side. Gunning drives, pull-up jumper, baseline good for number 5, Kennedy Gunning. That's her first 2. It's 41-10. If it gets to 30 points in the fourth quarter, there will be a running clock. So BPC has to score here to prevent that from happening even to start the quarter. Brandt loses the basketball. Now she saves it across half court. They're going to say she was down before she threw it. Turnover to BPC, or to Illini West. 1:02 remaining in the third quarter. Presley Brandt takes a seat. That ball's tipped by McGrew. House right tracks it down. She goes back the other way with it. Gunning might have traveled. Puts up the 3. It's short. And I think Olivia Johnson's going to pick up the foul. It is a foul on Johnson. Second of the quarter for the Chargers. 46.1 seconds. Clock running now. BPC's went nearly 2.5 quarters without committing a foul. At least without having a foul called on them anyway. Jersey Jones with it. Dumps it to Sierra Shannon. 30 seconds remaining. Back to Jones. Over to Krebs. Krebs needs to shoot more, and she missed that one. But, man, she's got a good touch when she's hitting, and she was hitting on Saturday. I'd love to see her shoot just a little bit more. She can put the ball in the hoop when she's on. And she just doesn't take enough shots to know if she's on or not. 10 seconds remaining. Kleindenz is going to lose it. Gunning goes back the other way. 7, 6. Krebs is going to try to cut her off. She does, but she still gets the shot up, and it'll fall. Kennedy Gunning gets her second bucket. And that's the end of the third quarter of play. The Chargers lead 43-10 over BPC. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a couple minutes.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back as we move to the fourth quarter here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School. It should be a running clock for the entire fourth quarter. We'll have the JV contest up after this. Not sure what capacity they'll do the JV game at Macomb, against Macomb the other night. They did a 20-minute running clock. We'll see if that's what they do tonight. It's going to be Illini West basketball to start the fourth quarter. It's Craig, number 20, Natalie Wibble. I wonder which Wibble she belongs to. Is it Lee's daughter? I don't know. I can find that out. Quisenberry has it stolen away as Reed is back in. Quisenberry, Hunter, Craig, along with Wibble on the floor for sorry about that, folks. Had a little feedback through. Shot was off, no good. Craig. Over to Natalie Wibble. Wibble is a sophomore. Reed with it, approaching 7 minutes remaining. Hunter with it, left corner. Might be able to hear on the far side, wanting to pick up the pace here on the ball movement. Hunter, baseline jumper, good. Allison Hunter has a game-high 11 points. Jones. Jump ball, possession BPC. Krebs goes out, Jones goes out, Brandt comes back in, and Nelson comes back in for BPC. Abby Nelson with it. Craig guarding her, under 6 minutes to play now. Shannon, back to Brandt. Brandt loses it. Onto the floor she goes. Jump ball is going to be called Illini West basketball, and it could have been called a travel because Brandt sat up with it, but they did not call the travel. They went with a jump instead. Either way, it's Illini West basketball. Allison Hunter has her pass knocked away by Brandt out of bounds. Stays with the Chargers. Clock is running. 5:23 left. Out to Quisenberry. Down the corner, Craig wants another three. She airballs that one, airmailed it across the top of the rim to Nelson. Kind of caught it out of self-defense. Brandt comes across to Abby Nelson. Madison McGrew, Brandt to Kleindentz, back to Brandt. 4:42 remaining. Wibble is going to get called for the foul. It'll be her first. She hasn't scored yet. You got to get in the book somehow. That's what they always like to tell people. Team's third foul of the quarter. It says on the scoreboard. I don't know if they cleared them after the last quarter. I know they did not. It's actually the first foul. Ours says one, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a line change back in as Wibble sits down along with the four starters that were on the floor. Back out is Gunning, Cook, Johnson, Shutwell's back out there, and Houseright, and a double dribble call on Jules Krebs. 3:50 remaining. Johnson, corner Gunning. Gunning's going to drive, dumps it out near side Shutwell. Shutwell has not scored yet. Even though she is a starter, she has not scored. Madison McGrew with a steal from Gunning. She pushes it back the other way. McGrew's going to go to the right and have it knocked away from behind by Shutwell, and she'll push it back the other way now. 3:19 left. Down to Cook. Cook has not scored either. Houseright not scored. Gunning and Johnson have scored. Houseright trying to look for Johnson. Johnson stopped a bit short. The pass was a little wide, and it's out of bounds. Under 3 minutes to go now. Clock still running with the running clock here in the fourth quarter. Nelson gives it over to Brandt. Madison McGrew with it now. Good to see Madison McGrew out here for BPC. She has battled the knee injuries and injuries throughout her career, but it's good to see her get back for better part of her senior year here, or what's left of it anyway. So hopefully she can stay healthy and help the BPC Spartans out a little bit. She gets back in the flow of things. In the corner, Gunning. Gunning's long shot off, no good. Rebound put back up by Cook, off no good again. She puts it back up again, no foul called. Man, there was a big-time hack. And Brandt knocked out of bounds. It'll be with BPC. Checking in is Corin Robinson. Shutwell's going to leave. Clock still running. Brandt takes a seat. Jersey Jones back in. So it's Shannon, McGrew, Nelson, Jones on the floor for BPC. Johnson, Gunning, Cook, Housewright, and Robinson on the floor for the Chargers. Shannon, and she got a pretty good push there too. Jones puts up the baseline jumper. It's off, no good. It is getting physical behind the play, and and Jones gets the foul called on Gunning. It's unofficially Gunning's first. I did miss a foul in there somewhere. Jersey Jones may or may not have done a bit of a flop there. I will neither confirm nor deny it. But of all the other contact that has not been called, there was some contact there. I don't know that that was quite the kind of contact that warranted a foul, even though Jones did go down. Housewright to the basket, and it's off, no good. Jump ball, possession will be BPC. 33 seconds remaining, clock running. Allison Hunter, the only player to score here in the fourth quarter. Krebs to Jones. She lofts one. Oh, I thought it was going to go in. Cook with the rebound. Johnson has it. 5 seconds. Gives it off to Robinson. Robinson backs it out, and that's how this one's going to end. The Chargers get a 45-10 win, a 45-10 win here at BPC High School. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, as you're watching Devin Raleigh Shelter Insurance coverage of BPC Sports. Hopefully get Coach Schwarz up here in just a couple minutes.
My experience with McDonough District.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. Coach Schwarz went to the locker room. Don't know that he's going to make it back out. We have to end the break. They're only taking a 10 minutes in between, so we'll have to end this and restart the next stream and all that stuff. So we'll go through. If we can get him on, we'll start the next stream a little early. So the leading scorers for tonight's game, 45-10 the win for the Chargers. They finished 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Reagan Reed had 10 points, was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. The leading scorer in the contest, though, Allison Hunter, 11 points, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Also 10 points for Ellie Craig, who had a couple three-pointers. 4 points for Kennedy Gunning, 4 points for Corin Robinson, 4 points for Madison Quisenberry, and 2 points for Olivia Johnson. For BPC, it was led by Abby Nelson's 4 points, and then a three-pointer by Madison McGrew and a three-pointer by Sierra Shannon. So that lines up the scoring. BPC did not shoot a free throw tonight. And we'll be back with the JV contest. As far as I know, it'll be four 6-minute quarters. If they're going to do something else, they'll announce it when we get ready to start. But as of now, it's 4 6-minute quarters, and we'll have that game on the next stream. Thanks for joining us as we've been bringing you Devin Raleigh Shelter Insurance coverage of BPC Sports. I want to thank Sports Corner at 124, Pond Plus, Midwest Ice, Western Illinois University, McDonough District Hospital, Heil Enterprises, M&B Furniture, King Family Chiropractic, and JoJo's Gaming Parlor for helping to bring you this contest. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching this 45-10 win. Chargers down the Spartans.